1.
What's up, everybody? We're back with the Coast to Coast podcast. This week, we're doing all the free agency, frenzy. It's almost like its own season, NFL free agency. So it's been a good one so far. So what's up, boys? How y'all doing?
Doing just
Good
fine.
night. Yeah, finals week here at UO just finished.
Hell yeah. Get them grades up. All right, so we'll just hop right into it. We'll go like position by position. First, we'll start with the quarterbacks. The Saints, they brought back both their QBs. Obviously, Drew Brees, sadly retiring, but they got Hill and Winston both locked up. Hill got a massive deal, and then or not massive, but a pretty multi-year deal, and then Winston back on a year. So I'll start with Liam. What does it say? Who do you think is going to have the most fantasy value out of these guys?
Oh, it's a really, really confusing situation because I think everyone at this point wants Jameis to be the starter. We saw what he did in, Tampa Bay. But at the same time, they just have this thing for Taysom Hill. I don't know why. I mean, I know the contract's like voidable and everything like that. But, why are you paying this guy so much money? I think $8 million is an overpay for this dude. I don't think anyone would pay this much for this guy because he's a specific role. I mean, sure, he won them games, but – he's just not an NFL quarterback. And I don't know how old he is. I think he's like 30-something at this point.
30, almost.
Let me check real quick.
He's exactly 30.
30, yeah.
He will be turning 31 at the start of the season.
Yeah, so I think you got to run with Jameis. He's got a better arm. He's shown, that he can be successful in the league. I think, for this receiving core, which, is depleted now. They lost Emmanuel Sanders. They're just going to be – and Jared Cook. So they got their rookie tight end, Adam Trautman, and they got Michael Thomas. Give a guy that can throw the ball. I'm running with Jameis if I'm taking anyone.
Yeah, same. I think he just has overall a better talent and better skill set for what they want to do, in the passing game. It's just weird. I don't really feel like any of these guys are the long term. I think both of these guys are kind of transition quarterbacks, and the Saints are either going to make a massive move for, a big-time quarterback like a Russ or a Watson or, just look in the draft for someone because I don't really think either of these guys are, here to stay that long, And then next, another one-year deal, we got Ryan Fitzmagic going to the football team. I really like this move because we'll talk about it later. They got their wide receiver too now and Curtis Samuel, which I really love. And so I think this is a perfect, veteran leader that – it will help them, this young team develop, get that experience, because I still think they're probably a year or two away from, really competing. So this is a good just transition quarterback until they find their guy in the future. So Jose, what do you have to say about this one?
Yeah, I mean, I think Fitz at this point in his career is pretty much the perfect transitional QB. I mean, we saw what he did a few years ago with Tampa Bay, and now obviously they're reigning Super Bowl champs, and who knows if that's, an omen for Miami soon to come. I mean, handing over the reins. But I think he's going to be pretty good in Washington. Hopefully they can get someone to develop under him, kind of take him under his wing and eventually take over. But, I think it's a solid pickup. I mean, it's going to be a high-powered offense as, a Ryan Fitzpatrick-led offense typically is. I'm excited to face him in the division.
Yeah, I think just to add on to that real quick, you talking about, deep threats, this guy is one that likes to throw the ball down the field. Like Jose alluded to, in 2018, the beginning of the season, he was a monster for Tampa Bay, making Chris Godwin and Mike Evans just getting some nice balls to them. And when you're throwing to Terry McLaurin and Curtis Samuel, those guys are speedsters. They are deep threats. He's going to be amazing for this offense. Paired with that defense, it's going to be looking like they might be division favorites out there competing with the Cowboys for this division.
Yeah, I know. I like it too, just because, fantasy-wise, I mean, you got those two. You're still going to have Gibson and, McKissick. Sorry, I'm going to butcher that. So, yeah, I'm hyped for them. Next, we got, probably the biggest, meme of the free agency, freaking Andy Dalton going to the Bears. This is, I don't know how many quarterbacks that have been in, that Andy Dalton mode that they've had now for the last, few years. And I heard something, the Bears have, never had a 4,000-yard passer, which is just, dude.
What?
Come on. Yeah, I
Was
swear.
Trubisky not a 4,000-yard passer, 2 seasons ago?
His Pro Bowl season, no.
When they made the playoffs? He wasn't?
No.
Damn.
No. Probably got close, though. But, yeah, it's just crazy.
I'll check that real quick.
So I guess it's just, I don't know if he's just going to be a full backup and they're going to go with, Trubisky. I mean, who knows? But, I mean, I don't really think this adds or detracts from any of their, like, the Bears skill players, like, fantasy values. Just another mid quarterback for Allen Robinson to get mad at. So
3,200 yards was what he had. Mitchell Trubisky in his Pro Bowl season.
Wow.
I don't really see anything out of this. He's basically Nick Foles at this point. I love him. I thought he did really well with the Cowboys.
Better.
Oh, I know. I think he did well.
He's slightly better. He's better.
Yeah,
but
I think
still,
he did well with the Cowboys. But you got to put in the perspective, the Cowboys have weapons. Yeah. I mean –
and a shit division.
You probably put Amari Cooper and Allen Robinson up there in the same conversation, but who's their wide receiver 2 that's even comparable to anyone that they have in the Cowboys? So I think it's going to be hard for him. And a bad offensive line. Javon Wims.
No.
Mooney?
Talking about
Mooney. The guy who gets open at like a ridiculous rate. Yeah,
Mooney.
Darnell Mooney.
Hopefully Dalton can hit him. I mean, Dalton had pretty good chemistry with like CeeDee Lamb. Mostly just with Amari though. I mean, I think him and Robinson are gonna have a pretty similar connection to him and Amari, similar to how he did with AJ Green. But I mean, I think he's just a solid like choice for them to go with. Obviously, they couldn't land Watson or Russell Wilson, so
they threw a bag for Russell Wilson. You guys see that trade offer?
Yeah. I mean, he deserves it though, because that'd be dope.
100%.
Yeah. And then finally, we have journeyman Tyrod Taylor going to the Texans. I think a nice pickup because I feel like, it's kind of inevitable that you're going to, end up losing Watson because he's either going to, hold out or, eventually get traded. So I think this is a nice transition, again, like a Fitzpatrick and, and a Dalton, where they can, have him for a year, be kind of competitive, he knows what he's doing, and then, hopefully draft a quarterback for the future. But I don't really see much of this. I mean, it's Tyrod Taylor. Like, we know what you're going to get from him. So anything else to add?
Nah, I mean, he's going to be the starter, though. I can tell you that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, facts. Next we got the sorry, go ahead, Jose.
I mean, I was just going to say, like, this move pretty much signals, like, the exodus of Watson.
Yeah. It was a big contract. It was 12.5.
Yeah.
Sheesh. Texans stay making those moves. All right, now we got the running backs. We got the 2 Green Bay running backs. Now not anymore, but head scratcher, like Aaron Jones re-signing. I think we all that was like the least likely thing that we predicted with Aaron Jones. I mean, so fantasy wise, I mean, you're still probably gonna get the same volume with him that you've been getting the last couple of years, but still just like, damn, we really want to see him unleashed on another team. Yeah. So, like, Liam, what do you have to say about this?
I was so mad when I saw this deal go through. I'm like, are you kidding me? I mean, sure, he probably deserves to get paid that much. I don't think that was in question. But you got A.J. Dillon. This guy's a freak athlete, 245 plus pounds, runs like a truck. He's a little bit – it's like him, Najee Harris, and Derrick Henry are going to be – I mean, obviously Derrick Henry's leading that class, but, some big boys that can run. I mean, I think Aaron Jones has been successful, but to go out and spend that money when you could have gone out and got a wide receiver, I mean, obviously they still can. They could still get Fuller, but I don't think they have enough money at this point because they let their all-pro center walk. I thought it was a horrendous deal. I mean, I don't care if he goes for like 1,200 yards and 15 touchdowns. I still think it was a bad deal. I don't know what's going on with this Packers front office. They've made a lot of questionable moves, and they haven't been able to prove anything of it. Aaron Rodgers is a year older. Get him a weapon that's, outside of Devontae Adams and Rob Tonyan, who they haven't even re-signed yet. Horrendous move, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it's a horrendous move. I think for Aaron Jones' sake, I think it's a pretty good move, especially fantasy-wise. Like, we know what we're going to get out of him, and we know, the type of player that he is. But they also did lose Corey Linsley. So, maybe his run is a little bit, impaired. But, I mean, solid move. I think the Packers at this point, they just have to keep the weapons that they do have because we know they're not really going to go out and get more. But obviously, you're disappointed as a Packers fan and as just an NFL fan in general.
I mean, I just think about it, you gave him a 4-year contract and I'm pretty sure what's his name's contract's going to be up by then, which I think just makes it useless. No, I think was it AJ Dillon's contract's going to be up by then, if I'm not wrong. I'm trying to see where did he go. Okay, so yeah, he went second round, 30th overall. Just like looking at the other guys that like went after him that they could have got. I mean, nothing too crazy, but like there could have been other pieces that they could have gone if they're just going to re-sign this guy, and then so just not an ideal use of their money, in my opinion.
Yeah, same. I feel the same exact way. Just like, damn, bro. I really would have rather seen them with another wide receiver and no Aaron Jones and just patch it together with Williams and Dillon than, just keep Aaron Jones, because it's just boring for them. It's it's just like boring fantasy wise, and they just could have handled their money a lot better. But anyways, next, Jamal Williams, formerly on the Packers, now going to the Lions. Another head scratcher, because it's like, dude, the Lions, it's like, how many running backs do you need, bro? Like, and it's just like, can we just like commit to Swift and just let him be like the workhorse? And I mean, you still have like they still have Adrian Peterson. You still have probably at least five other guys that. I'm not really sure. I don't know.
I don't think so. Like, I think he's still a free agent. But they do have. They always have guys. They always have guys, though. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. They always have like guys that you could. Exactly. So it just doesn't make any sense. I would just develop Swift. So I don't know, Jose, what do you have to say?
Yeah, I feel the same way. I was really hoping, for a Swift breakout season. I mean, we could still see it, but obviously Jamal Williams is going to hold him back a little bit. I mean, I think Jamal Williams is a good running back. I don't know if he's, good enough to be the sole starter. So for that reason, he's probably going to split carries with Swift, which is just aggravating. Yeah. But I mean, hopefully, by midseason, the Lions realize that, Swift is the guy to go with, and they'll just unleash him.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is that Jamal Williams is a third down back, and he's also a power back. So he'll be getting a lot of receiving work, and he'll also be getting a lot of goal line work, which really hinders DeAndre Swift's progress, which I don't even want to draft him at this point. I didn't want to draft him to begin with, I think, because of such a bad situation the Lions are in, but this just further solidifies it that he's probably going to drop in draft boards from this, probably to the third round, like I think the latest. He probably was a second round pick. Yeah, who knows? But yeah, I put someone like Dobbins above him at this point, so that's what I gotta say.
I mean, what's called? Never mind, I forgot.
You're Sean. If it comes back, let us know though. Next, we got Marlon Mack returning to the Colts, which I think is a nice signing because I'm hoping that he's just going to be a backup, and then they'll let Taylor, get a lot of the work, but we'll see. So like Jose, like how you feeling about Mac going back to the Colts?
Yeah, okay. I'll touch on Mac right now, but it just came back to me.
Do you guys think, do that right now though?
Yeah. Do you guys think if Swift didn't drop that touchdown week 1 in the end zone, he would be like their undisputed starter right now?
100%. Yes.
That was such conspiracy theory, pressure on him.
Lions conspiracy theory. 100%, bro.
That's so unlucky. But back to
so unlucky.
Yeah, this move, like when I saw the notification on my phone, I was just like, bruh. Because like Jonathan Taylor is one of the guys I'm really high on for next year. And I mean, it is only a 1 year, $2 million deal. So I really hope they don't like use him as a starter, but like as like a 60-40 or like a even hopefully less than that with Taylor. I want Taylor to be unleashed. So, I mean, solid move if he's a backup.
Well, yeah. I mean, you still got to look at it. There's 4 guys on that team that are going to get carries. Naheem Hines is going to get the third down work. Jordan Wilkins still played really good last year. Marlon Mack was 1,000-yard, almost 1,100-yard rusher a couple years ago, and you still got Jonathan Taylor. I think Jonathan Taylor is easily the most talented out of them, regardless. I mean, we saw what he did in college, but it just makes it hard for people who want to be root for the Colts running back core in fantasy because this is such a sticky situation. You don't know who's going to get carries because Frank Wright might just throw some random stuff out there. We don't know who's Carson Wentz going to want to work with better. So we don't know. It's a whole scheme change, I think, going on. So it's going to be questionable for fantasy owners.
I mean, they could easily go to an RBBC similar to how the Eagles were in 2017.
Yeah. I mean, I think we're at the look at training camps. If you don't do your drafts before that to see like what goes on there.
Yeah.
Who's winning the training camp battles, etc.
Yeah, that's definitely something to monitor. Hopefully. So now we're going to the wide receivers. So first of all, we got Corey Davis, who I think we all, at least I know, but I feel like we all really want him to stay with the Titans just to be that solid wide receiver too. But he's with the Jets. This is really, going to be something interesting because I think we all know he's super talented, that he can be a solid, flex option. But it's really just going to depend on who they got at quarterback, which we don't know yet. So, Liam, what do you think about Davis going to the Jets?
Yeah, I think it's an interesting situation, one that we were really talking about on last week's episode, talking about like what's going to happen. But I mean, this guy was a stud at Western Michigan. Obviously, back in college is when we saw his most promise. Playing like I think he might have been a two-time Comp winner, which is absolutely ridiculous. But
insane.
Hope to see something like that. Him develop alongside Denzel Mims, something that we talked about in last week's episode. I still think they need to get another wide receiver option. They're probably going to go Zach Wilson at this point in the draft, unless they shock the world and they keep Darnold. But I think Darnold's going to get traded probably to a team like Washington, I feel like, to play behind Fitzmagic. And, yeah, I think, like we said in last week's episode, Corey Davis is probably going to go for 900 yards and like 7 touchdowns at the most. So that's what I see.
Yeah. I mean, similar thoughts. I mean, Corey Davis, I don't think he's a wide receiver one, but I think as the Jets wide receiver one, he will probably be pretty solid, like decent. Not going to blow anything out the water though. But if he does have, Justin Fields or Zach Wilson or whoever, I think his upside is better than with Sam Darnold for sure.
Yeah, and I mean, Jamison Crowder was someone that he had when he was actually healthy and playing, he had like really nice games despite who was out there at quarterback. So I think get someone like Corey Davis, who I think is probably more talented than Crowder.
Is he still there?
It's a good sign. I don't know.
Is he still there, Crowder?
I think so.
Jamison Crowder, yes, he's still there.
Okay.
Yeah, is he? Yeah, is he not a free agent? He's still under contract.
He is still on contract. He got a big contract when he was on Washington. I mean,
they might cut him though, to be honest.
He's a good slot guy. He's one of the better ones.
Yeah, he's a great slot guy.
But we'll see.
We'll see. Definitely. Next we got Nelson Aguilar, dropping babies himself. He's never gonna live that one out. Going to the Patriots, who had a freaking frenzy of free agent signings. They just splurged. They were spending like crazy. So Aguilar, the Patriots. Cam's got a new weapon. Jose, what do you have to say about this?
I don't love it, but I think it's a solid pickup. I think he'll fill a similar role to Philip Dorsett a couple years ago, kind of just like that, deep threat guy. But I think Aguilar is probably more consistent than Dorsett. He definitely had, his career year last year. Let's hope he can keep that up with the Pats. I mean, if you can do it on the Raiders, I think you can do it on the Pats.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the situation he's got, we obviously I don't have him on the list because I don't think he was that important, but like Kendrick Bourne's also there. They still got Jacoby Myers, who played solid, and then obviously their 2 big tight end pickups, which we'll get to later. I think he could have a solid season. I think everything is on Cam this next season. He has the most pressure out of anyone, in my opinion. If he doesn't deliver, he can't, if he isn't able to throw the ball to Aguilar deep down the field, like that's where he's best. It's going to be an end of the career for Cam, in my opinion, if he doesn't keep it up.
Most likely, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Because now he has some better weapons. I just don't really like Aguilar's upside because, like you guys said, he is a deep threat, and I think with Cam, unless his shoulder is magically repaired or something happens, we saw that he's not really the best at deep balls. He's a short intermediate passer now. So I think like guys, like the tight ends, we'll get to them, are going to eat. But I just am worried about Aguilar for sure. I don't think he'll be as consistent, as good as he was on the Raiders. And then next, Emmanuel Sanders going to the Bills, which I think is a really nice fill-in for John Brown, a veteran guy, just solid. He's still going. It seems like he doesn't even age. So what do you guys have to say about this one?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's literally like a John Brown light almost. He might get injured more than John Brown though.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just a solid pickup. I hope he doesn't take too many snaps away from Gabriel Davis. Because I really like Gabe Davis. I want him to take a step up in that offense.
Yeah, I'd imagine that Sanders is kind of like a backup problem in case, Cole Beasley goes down with injury or he somehow regresses. But I mean, Emmanuel Sanders, he's a lot slower than Brown, so they're losing that vertical threat. But they still got, Stephon Diggs who can literally do anything. But
yeah,
I'd imagine he's going to play solid. Him and Cole Beasley alternating, who's going to get the slot work sometimes. So, I can't imagine he's going to do much in the Bills' offense. I think he'll just be a reliable veteran that, has got solid hands and he can make some plays out there every once in a while.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. A nice backup to have, too, because, I mean, Sanders has been doing his thing for a while. But speaking of John Brown, he's going to the Raiders. Not really sure what their offense is going to look like next year. But, Liam, what do you have to say about this one?
Yeah, I mean, they cut ties with Ossie Aguilar and they cut ties with Tyrell Williams, who had been injured for them, didn't play last season. But now, looking like the depth charts, wide receiver 1, Henry Ruggs out there, then John Brown and Hunter Renfrow, which, a lot of small guys didn't really have a big go up and get it guy. I know they got Brian Edwards in the draft last year, but he didn't really show too much promise. So looking for Derek Carr to throw, he's got to get a lot of deep balls off. He wants to get to these guys. But the one problem is they lost 4 out of the 5 starters on their offensive line just because they decided to get rid of them all. Not like they all left in free agency. They literally traded 2 of them. Actually, wait. No, they traded 3 of them, actually, and then one of them retired. So not looking good for the Raiders, though. I mean, I don't know how much value John Brown's going to bring if he can't get deep balls thrown to him because they're getting so much pressure on the Raiders.
Yeah. I mean, dude, it's just such a Raiders-ass pickup. Like,
I know. I was literally going to say that. I was like, this is like the most Raiders like receiver ever. That's how dude, Dalton, like he's the most Bears quarterback. It's just like these teams that keep making like the same moves, bro.
Yeah, it's like doing the same fucking thing and just not getting results.
Dude.
Like the Raiders, it's like when they signed AB. It's like why?
Well,
they didn't sign it. They traded for him.
Oh yeah, they traded for AB. They traded. Yeah, and they got nothing. It's just like the Raiders. I just think they don't have a single clue like how to run a team at this point.
Yeah, no, they got one of the smartest.
Not saying I do either, but
yeah. I mean, they get rid of that many offensive linemen. When you get rid of Trent Brown, I know he's getting paid a lot of money, but he's a solid right tackle. Rodney Hudson's one of the best centers in the league. I mean, obviously they lost Richie Incognito, and Gabe Jackson was a heavy cap hit, but still a solid left guard. To lose all of those guys in one offseason, and you're keeping probably the weakest link of them all, Colton Miller, who, despite a bad rookie season, is still playing solid. You have to fill 4 offensive line starting positions. And, I mean, unless they go out, they sign Mitchell Schwartz, who's still out there in free agency. They still have to fill out all those other positions. It's going to be rough out there for the Raiders. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing. I have no idea what they're doing.
Bottom of the division finish. Hot take. It'll be the worst team that
winless. Like
they'll win like 4 games out of 17.
Who are they beating?
Hot take.
Who are they beating? Washington?
The Chiefs.
They'll get some random wins in there.
What do you think they'll beat the Chiefs? I mean, they beat the Chiefs last year.
Yeah, that's why I said it. I mean, the Broncos are probably going to be just as bad.
Yeah, probably pretty bad.
The Broncos, they kept Justin Simmons. They still have Von Miller.
If they play the Texans, that would be a win.
Okay, yeah, the Texans. Let me see their schedule.
All right, we'll move on next one. You bring it.
I got you.
All right.
So next, I honestly cringed when I saw the signing Marvin Jones to the Jaguars, just because I just want more snaps for Chark and for Chenault. I like both of those guys a lot. And with most likely Lawrence or whoever they're gonna get, it's just tough. Just for those 2 alone, that's why. But solid signing. Like overall, just adding depth to the receiving core. So Liam, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, that pissed me off with Chenault because, I mean, sure, Marvin Jones, I think he's a very underrated wide receiver, but to throw him in that mix of like, because, they like Keelan Cole for some reason. I know they're going to favor. We don't know we don't know what Urban Meyer's going to like, but Urban Meyer went out and got this guy. So he also likes something about him. So, you got 4 guys up there, some solid value, but it's just a sticky situation for Jacksonville.
Yeah. I mean, the receiver cores in Jacksonville, I feel like are always these kind of type of receivers. He's kind of like an A-Rod back when A-Rod was on the Jags. Marvin Jones, he might have a damn good season though. I have a feeling like he's gonna get hot and they're just gonna keep throwing it to him, similar to how Chark had his season a few years ago. I feel like Marvin Jones could very easily take over the wide receiver 1 role of this team.
Well, yeah, we saw what he did last year without Kenny Golladay. He was electric.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He could go off.
Sneaky solid option. And also, I mean, he's like one of those guys that every like 4th or 5th game, he's dropping like 30 points for you on your fantasy team. It's just like,
dude, he could low key be like the Diggs of next year.
Oh, that's a hot take.
I'd say
hot take,
but
I say Rob.
Like maybe not.
I say Rob.
Maybe not to the same extent. But like a guy that you get in the late rounds. Yeah.
I completely agree.
He's a sleeper.
I'd say that for sure.
I honestly think, that's a good take. I think we're not good. That Diggs, that was a stretch. But I know what you're saying. Nah, I got you. I think they're gonna kind of be like Carolina, where like all 3 of them I think are gonna be pretty viable. Like you never really know who's like gonna have the best day, but like there's probably all gonna be like within like the 10-point range or something. So and then speaking of the Panthers, we got Curtis Samuel. Super excited for this. I think all of the receivers that we did in our last episode, we all kind of put them with the football team because they're desperately looking for that wide receiver too. They got it. I'm excited for this. Like, Jose, how you feeling?
Yeah, I mean, I really love Curtis Samuel, a guy that really broke out for me last season. And I think with a guy like Fitzpatrick at the helm, he's definitely going to be, a much better option. They're going to give him, snaps pretty much everywhere at running back, at wide receiver. He's going to be out there. He's going to be, making plays in the deep, in the slot. I just love everything about this signing, to be honest.
Yeah, I can't go wrong with you. I mean, there's no reason not to like this signing. You got a quarterback that likes to throw the ball down the field with Fitzpatrick, so that's a good thing to know. Ron Rivera is going to incorporate this guy, in a mixed run game. He's got 3 running options. He's got McKissick. He's got Antonio Gibson now. He's got Curtis Samuel to do some jet sweep stuff. I think it's going to Ron Rivera has a lot of things at his disposal, and I think Curtis Samuel's fantasy value is going to climb. And if he's not high in drafts, take a shot on him as a high flex or even a low wide receiver.
He won't be high. He will not go high. He will not.
No, I said a high flex.
Oh no, but I'm saying he will not go early rounds.
I think that's his potential.
He's definitely going to be a sleeper. He could though.
Yeah.
Did Rivera ever coach Samuel before? He did, right? His rookie year?
Maybe. But still, have that Carolina connection though. So this guy's a talented guy. I think it's good though for DJ Moore and Robbie Anderson. We know it's a more solidified wide receiver core. Probably, just gonna be those 2 guys. They need to get a tight end still, but then I think it's good for both sides. I think Panthers, now they know for fantasy wise, DJ Moore and Robbie Anderson are going to be solid pickups, and Curtis Samuel hopefully gets unleashed here in Washington.
Yeah, I love DJ Moore now. His value goes up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I also still like Robbie Anderson. I mean, last year he was like, wide receiver. He was in like the top 10 for, I think at least
for a while.
A quarter.
He was
half the year.
Receiving yard leader at week 8.
Yeah, he had a really good season. I still feel like he's not even going to really get upgraded from his position last year. So, both Washington guys, both Panthers guys, you guys said it, definitely going to be, sneaky pickups for sure. That's honestly probably my favorite wide receiver acquisition so far. I don't know how you guys are feeling. That's probably my favorite, best fit. That's my favorite, by far.
I know there's some ones that, I mean, could be breaking later tonight. We don't know. I know Kenny Galladay's
There's still some
Kenny
guys out there.
Galladay's been rumored to go to New York. I don't really like that signing at all.
Giants or Jets?
No, to the Giants. He's been rumored
Ew.
heavy.
Ew.
Yeah. We still don't know where Juju's going. We don't know where Will Fuller's going. There's still a lot of guys out there in the market. We don't know where they're going to end up next season.
Yeah, probably the three biggest guys of the wide receiver class still haven't gone yet. So,
do we have a live update going?
I'm keeping track. Yes, I've been tracking.
Yeah, okay.
We'll all get it.
I think Van Noy just signed. Van Noy.
Yeah, he just re-signed with the Patriots. Good signing. They got 2 solid outside linebackers, so good thing to see.
Yep.
Nice. And then finally we got AJ Green going to the Cardinals. Who I think was pretty washed last year. I'm not even gonna lie.
Larry Fitzgerald 2.0. He's gonna be
literally a dinosaur.
Yeah, literally.
I mean,
so
virtually no value.
Excited. Yeah.
I hope Larry Fitz just retires. To be honest. But AJ Green, why? Why sign this guy?
I think because they just think he did. I don't know, because he had his moments last year, and he did get.
He got targeted so much.
Yeah, he got targeted a ton. Okay. So I don't really know if it's just good defense or just not a connection, or if it was really just his. I didn't really watch the Bengals that much, so I feel I don't really know if it was his age and his skill set or just other factors. But
I mean, think of it this way: in the past 2-3 seasons, the Bengals wide receiver development has been crazy. We've got John Ross that had a breakout season, start before he got hurt. We had what's his face? T. Higgins last year broke out. Boyd broke out. Maybe, they're thinking they bring AJ Green, they take their young guys like Kirk, and I mean obviously Hop, and put him under his wing, and maybe, they have that same type of breakout. Maybe that's what they were thinking. But as far as fantasy value, he's basically useless at this point.
It's a good veteran pickup, though. I agree. Andy Isabella and Christian Kirk, 2 huge deep threat guys that they might be able to have AJ Green.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot about Isabella. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and if he can just give a little bit of production, he would be a nice, complement to D-Hop, someone that could alleviate some of the defensive pressure off D-Hop, because he's going to get a ton of attention. So, not really good fantasy value, but yeah, for sure, a solid pickup. Next, tight ends. Two of the big Patriots signings. They got Jonnu Smith and Hunter Henry. 2 guys that I think were, both in all of our top 10s. I don't think I had a Henry, but 2 guys that I think we all really like that have, top 10, maybe even top 5 potential in the right situation. But now they're both on the Patriots. So I don't know, Liam, how you thinking? How you feeling?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know who I like more, because we've seen Belichick praise both these guys heavy and then brought them in this year. Johnny obviously got a longer contract, but I don't know if that really makes a difference. I think John is, a guy that has more speed, but Hunter Henry's more of a possession guy. So we don't know we're going to get. I mean, you might just want to think because, it's going back to the tight end duo that they had, obviously Aaron Hernandez with Rob Gronkowski. But you might do you want to think, who's more like Gronk, or do you think, they're not going to do that? Who's more speedster? I don't know. I have a feeling that it's going to be Jonnu Smith. I don't know why. I feel like he's more versatile than Hunter Henry, but it's just stay away from him in fantasy. There's no need to pick one. Unless we see in the middle of the season that one of them is decent, maybe pick them up, but no.
Yeah, same.
Good for the team.
I mean, immediately as soon as they signed, I saw people on Twitter calling this Aaron Hernandez Gronk 2.0. And I think neither of these guys are as talented as either of those guys, but
yeah, 100%.
I mean, the Pats love to run multi-tight end sets. I mean, they're basically the pioneers of that formation, and they haven't had good tight ends the past 2 seasons. So I mean, who knows how they're gonna run it? I think it'll probably be Jonnu Smith for most of the receiving work, Henry mostly just as you said, possession and stuff. But yeah, just stay away from them. Don't want it. It sucks. They're both now out of my top 10.
Yeah. Same. I just don't really look at them as options options anymore. Yeah, like you said, Liam, like really good for the team because it fits that two tight ends. It is really disrespectful that like people are like comparing them to Gronk and Hernandez because both those guys. I mean, Hernandez was a monster. Gronk, arguably the greatest
generational talent. Yeah,
generational talent. I mean, both those guys were insane. And just like, I mean, these guys are both solid tight ends. They're really solid. But like, come on now, like we can't disrespect those guys. But unless one of them gets like injured and like out for the year or something, like if something like terrible and drastic happens, yeah, it's just going to be something to monitor. I think it'd just be more of like a 50-50 or like 60-40 split. Speaking of Gronk, coming back to the Bucks, they're running it back. They're
running back,
crazy.
baby.
It's crazy how they're running it back. It's crazy how they're like signing everybody. I don't really think they've lost like too many pieces, which is crazy. I don't know where they're getting this money from, but Jose, how you feeling about Gronk coming back to the Bucks?
I mean, I really hope he comes, to training camp in shape. I really hope he takes the season seriously and really has a good overall season because he had a good season last year, but he started off so terribly to the point where we were calling him like the biggest bust, of this season, of last season.
Yeah.
But I really hope he just comes out like guns blazing, like, revenge tour, like 2.0, Gronk and Brady. But I mean, I like it for the Bucks.
Yeah, I mean, we saw he played in the Super Bowl, had a really, really good game there. Don't know what the fantasy value again is going to look like. You still got Cameron Brate there. OJ Howard probably going to get traded in the next couple of days. We'll see what his fantasy value looks like, but just solid for the team. Good blocker, decent hands. Hope he has a better season than what we expected out of him last year. I'll leave it as that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely. And then our final tight end, Gerald Everett, someone who had his moments. I think most notably that that regular season fantasy Super Bowl against the Chiefs. But besides that, someone that hasn't really done too much fantasy wise. Not really that.
It's a Seahawks tight end.
Yeah, exactly. It's gonna be a Seahawks tight end. I don't really see that much value coming from him. Might have a game or two or maybe it's a couple touchdowns or something, but I don't know. You guys got anything else to add?
Well, no, I mean, like he's a typical Seahawks tight end. Like they just signed like random guys that are like, I don't know, like have potential. Like, I don't know, like they always have a random core. They still got Disley, Jacob Hollister. I mean, obviously Greg Olsen retired. We don't know what they're like. Is he going to be the guy for them? Who knows? Interesting situation.
Is Higbee unleashed now?
Hope so. I hope so.
I could see. I hope so. Maybe not unleashed, but I think he'll end up maybe being like a top 5 tight end. But it's like he's so far behind like the rest of the 4 guys. It's like
yeah, I feel that. Maybe not top 5, but
I mean, Stafford and Hawkinson had a really solid connection. But to be fair, I think Hawkinson is much more talented.
Yeah, miles ahead.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, we'll see. Yeah. And then finally, we're just gonna kind of rapid fire through these, these other guys, free agents that we thought were, pretty important just in real football, and a couple of them, kind of help out, fantasy wise, like some of the offensive guys. But I'll start off with Bud Dupree, Steelers guy, going to the Titans, who they desperately needed some defense. So I think this is a really good signing for them. I'll start with Jose. Like, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think number one thing they had to address this season was their pass rush, and like just their defense overall. I mean, Bud Dupree is one of the best outside guys in the league. I think it's a great peg up. I think he's what they expected Clowney to be for them, and hopefully he produces. I really hope he can bolster this Titan pass rush.
Yeah, and I think just wrapping it up, I think it's perfect alongside Harold Landry. Harold Landry, just take another step, have 2 guys, obviously not the status of what TJ Watt was, but, I think Mike Vrabel's finally going to be able to get a pass rush, which is going to be good for this Tennessee team.
How much did he sign for?
5 years, 85. It was something, or something huge.
Okay. Dude, Hassan Reddick signed for 1 year, $8 million, and he's in his prime.
5 year, 82.
Like, why is Hassan Reddick not getting a bag?
Yeah. I mean, Hassan Reddick had one breakout season, though. That's the thing. But Dupree's been solid.
Yeah, but he's also 26.
That's true.
Sedarius Smith last year got like 4 years, damn near $70 million. This year, Trey Hendrickson got 4 years, 60, and he's only had like 1 or 2 good seasons. Like Hassan Reddick is like one of the best, outside edges in the league. To get 1 year, $8 million when you're 26,
it's a steal.
That's a big risk. It's a big risk, but it's a steal for the Panthers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really hope he can. I really hope he wins. He bet on himself. I hope he wins.
Yeah, definitely. Next, we got Yannick Ngakoue going to the Raiders. Someone that I thought was going to be really good on the Vikings last year, but their defense was god awful. Now he's on the Raiders. I don't really know. He just had a pretty mid-season last year, so I'm not really sure how I'm feeling about this. We'll see if he can bounce back on the Raiders. But like Jose, how you feeling?
Yeah, Yannick Ngakoue, I mean, solid addition. Across from Crosby, I think just a solid guy. Also a Raiders ass pickup though.
Yeah. They got him like right when he's not good, like not that good anymore. Like they got him like 4 years too late.
Yeah, mm-hmm. I mean he's kind of like the same level that Khalil Mack is now, like for them. Like, I don't know.
Whoa, that's a steep take.
Really?
Khalil Mack gets double teamed a lot. Khalil Mack gets double teamed a lot. He's still a great, great player.
Yeah, but like Khalil Mack has slowly been declining.
Oh, he's not the DPOY he used to be. No, definitely.
Yeah, exactly.
That's facts.
I think it's a solid pickup though.
He's just a worse Khalil Mack.
But their edge rushers don't sound that good though. Max Crosby and Yannick Ngakoue don't have a lot of faith in this team. I think this Raiders defense is still below average. So, I mean, I hope he does well. Honestly, I don't want him to do bad, but I think his floor, ceiling's like 8 sacks.
Didn't the Jags sign someone like another edge though?
The Jags?
Shaq Griffin. They signed Shaq Griffin.
Shaq Griffin no, he's a corner.
Oh wait, no. Who did they sign?
Oh no, I
think they signed another edge. Or did I read Shaq Griffin as Shaq Barrett? I might have read Shaq Griffin as Shaq Barrett.
That's probably what you saw. Shaq Barrett re-signed.
Shaq Barrett.
But who did they get? They did get Shaq Griffin, right? The Jags.
Yes.
Yeah, they did.
They got the Seahawks corner, who's very solid.
Yeah, that's a really solid pickup for them, big time.
Okay. Oh, they signed Jahad Ward. I don't know who the fuck that is.
Yeah. But next we got Corey Linsley going to the Chargers. Big time move. We love this. We protect our boy Herbert at all costs. You have a franchise quarterback with him, so you got invest in the O-line early. Great pickup. I got a feeling we all love this. I don't know, Liam, how you feeling?
Top 5 pickup in the free agency. I went crazy when I saw this happen. I thought it was honestly stupid. I gave my point already about Aaron Jones over Corey Linsley. Stupid, but great deal. They got Brian Bulaga on the right tackle. They got Corey Linsley in the middle. Get a left tackle, and you're solid.
Yep.
I mean, hold on. Dude, they've got now taken the Packers center and tackle from last year. So like, it's a great addition. I love it. I love it for what's his name, Eckler. I love it for just the Chargers in general. I mean, a 5-year deal for a great center, probably a top 3-4 center in the league right now.
I'll say, speaking of another center pickup that we did not mention that I did not put in here, Alex Mack to the Niners. Love that.
Yeah.
And Rodney Hudson to the Cardinals.
That's later down the list.
Yeah, we're going to get to that. I really like that too. Next, I think another really great move, John Johnson III going to the Browns. This is a really, really solid safety. He's on the Rams. And going to the Browns, which I think helps solve a pretty big weakness. I mean, they have what's his name? Not
Zendejo.
Zendejo, who's garbage. And so to replace him with John Johnson III, I think huge upgrade. And was really like the one weak spot of their defense because their pass rush is insane. They got a generational talent in Garrett. So I really like this signing. I'm hyped for the Browns. They just keep making solid move after solid move, honestly. Jose, how you feeling?
I mean, okay, we were talking about this before. I think it's a great pickup. Like, no doubt, it's a great pickup. He's a great player, probably, a top 5 free safety. But I feel like the secondary of the Browns is like they've got so many pieces still to figure out. Carl Joseph, they got Greedy Williams, who hasn't played a snap. They've got Del Pitt. They've got Denzel Ward, who's obviously their franchise piece, over there. But they've still got obviously Sendejo. But like, I don't know. I want to see how they figure this out. I really hope it works out for them. Because that one thing that they were lacking is that secondary, obviously.
Yeah, good move. Simple as that. We'll leave it like that.
Yep. Next one, we got Joe. Is it Thuney?
Yeah.
Thuney. Going to the Chiefs. Replacing the two guys that they gave up during this offseason on the O-line. Liam, how you feeling?
I thought it was a way too big of a contract for a guy that's at the best, the 4th best guard in the league, and he got paid like he was Quentin Nelson. Like, what is Quentin Nelson going to get $20 million a year for being an interior guy now, based on what Joe Thuney got? I mean, honestly, I love Quentin Nelson. He's a generational guard. Keep using generational, but this guy is a generational guard. He's going to Canton. But like the move, healthy. But I think it was an overpay. I don't like how they cut Mitchell Schwartz. I think Mitchell Schwartz is a top 3 tackle in the NFL. So good move, but I don't know. Not my favorite.
If you're going to give him this money, why not just sign Schwartz?
Yeah, they also got
Zach Martin.
I think so. I'll check on that.
Yeah, I think he did. Damn. I mean, I think it's a move that they had to make. They definitely overpaid, especially because I think he was tagged last year by the Pats. Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay, I think the Pats really boosted his value by tagging him and then playing him out another season. I don't think he would have got the same contract had he gone into free agency last season. But I think it's a move that they had to make. Now they've got to address their tackle spots. Are they playing Thuney at tackle, or are they keeping him interior? Who do they got at tackle?
I think Joe Thuney's contract's bigger. I just checked. But, I don't know they have a tackle. They signed, what's his name, Kyle Long or whatever, came out of retirement and signed he's a right guard. So
really?
They got two guards. They don't have a tackle. Tackle is most important position.
That's kind of gross. Kyle Long?
That's not ideal. And then finally, we'll do the 2 new Cardinals, and then we'll touch on the former Cardinal. We got J.J. Watt and Rodney Hudson, both going to the Cardinals. I think really, really solid moves for them. Just help, and especially Rodney Hudson. I'm really more excited about Rodney Hudson than I am J.J. Watt, just because that is one of the best centers and crucial for a young quarterback like Kyler. I really, really love that move because their O-line has been somewhat of an issue the last couple of years. So I love that. Watt, I like Watt too, but I actually really like Hudson more, to be honest, for them. Yeah. I don't know how you guys feel.
You said it perfectly. I don't think there's anything else.
Yeah. Perfect. Next, Patrick Peterson going to the Vikings, which is kind of weird because, Vikings defense is pretty shitty last year.
I think it's like 2 seasons too late, though.
Yeah.
He's still been solid.
Could have put –
he's not washed the window – it's like, damn, I want to see him compete,
But the window of the Vikings, defensively 2 years ago was so much better. When what's-his-face was in his prime.
Xavier Rhodes.
Who's their star corner?
Xavier Rhodes.
Yes.
Rhodes.
Like, him and Rhodes would have been insane. I remember Mr. Smith talking about he wanted Pat Pete so bad.
That would have been deadly.
Year. Yeah, back then it would have been so good, and the Vikings could have maybe had a chance, but now it's it's whatever.
But I think he's still a solid guy. Hopefully he can coach up those young corners, but he's been solid, though. Yeah. We saw – everyone thought Xavier Rhodes was nothing, and then he turned out to be something good for the Colts. So this guy's still a super athlete. He was amazing there at LSU. He's been a crazy athlete on the Cardinals. I hope he does well, and I think he can still be a solid corner. He's got to be able to guard Devontae Adams, though, so that's going to be a tough task for him.
Yeah, I'm not doubting his ability still. It's just like, damn, it's like the Vikings. I wish he would have gone to some place where he could compete for a title or something. And then Liam, you still have time for what we have 1, 2, 3 more guys.
We can just speed rush through them real quick.
All right, yeah. So real quick, first one, Matthew Judon, Patriots. I think we can all agree. We'll just do like thumbs up, thumbs down. Thumbs up, 2 thumbs up. Patriots.
I think he overpaid, yes. but good guy.
Still solid. Yeah, still solid.
Wait, no, we can't do thumbs up. We can't do thumbs up. But what about our Spotify listeners?
But we all got thumbs up for the viewers listening.
Yes. Yeah.
We all got thumbs up. Next, Shaq Barrett returning the Bucks.
Great pickup.
Thumbs up again. I mean, he was one of their best players on defense. Crazy Super Bowl winner. Finally, Hassan Riddick, Panthers. Solid.
I like the pickup, but I hope he gets his bag.
Yeah. But otherwise, we have to come back when the wide receivers decide where they're going to go. The big ones. I think we got to make a little bit of episode about that.
Yep. Big time. We'll come back for that when the Juju, who else? Galladay and then Fuller. When those 3 sign, we'll for sure let you know how we're feeling about those. But without further ado, I think that's going to end it for this week. Next week, honestly, these next few weeks probably just going to be surprises. Honestly, we could have some.
There's a lot of stuff. March Madness,
mock drafts, March Madness. Who knows? Yeah, who knows? Yeah. But for sure, go online, do our brackets. We want to see who's getting the best bracket this year. I think it's going to be a crazy March Madness, COVID and everything. Who knows what's going to happen, bro?
So ready. It starts at Friday, 12:15.
I love it.
I get out.
Let's go Oregon, baby.
Right there. All right.
Go Oregon.
Sign it now.
We're going all the way.
Peace.
All right. Peace, you guys. Peace.